Hi guys, welcome back to Ani's World. So today we will be talking about the good part. I love this part. Hold on. Yes, just in case YouTube cut off my introduction. Hi guys. Today we will be talking about the good part. This is my favorite part, y'all. Okay. Me and my boy go dun dun dun. Dun 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 dun. I did not like straighten my hair the way that I wanted to, so excuse me. Okay, so today we're talking about the good part. And the good part is, to me, nobody really cares for real, okay? I want to start there. Nobody really cares that much. If you have ever like been in public, I used to do little things all the time. And the only thing that would really get a reaction from people was when I would look up into the sky and pretend something was coming and be like, ah! And then everybody would would look. But for the most part, no matter what you do, people might look real quick and then they're going to go on about their day. So the good part is nobody cares. So you can make mistakes, you can trip, you can bump your head on your journey while you're learning, and I promise you nobody's going to care as much as you do. Okay? And acknowledging all of the good parts and the good things in life will really help you enhance yourself. And I wanted to talk about this in terms of growing, right? And in times in life where you're not feeling like your best self and you finally get there, you will learn that people look at you the way that you may have used to look at them at your lowest, which means you've seen the best in them, right? And when you see somebody who you just feel like has their self all together and you just see the greatest things in them, you're gonna want to point out the flaws. So the good part, right, is that if this is happening to you, if people are constantly, pointing out your flaws or trying to just be in disagreeable energy when it comes to you really um embodying yourself, right? That's a good thing. That's a good thing because that means that you're on the right path and you're doing the right thing. Where at one point in life, that may have been how you looked at other people. You may have been in disagreeable energy for where they were in life, even though it may have been better than you, right? Well, now they're going to feel that type of way about you. And the beautiful thing about life, again, acknowledging all the good parts. Hi, everybody. Is that you you are always given the opportunity to grow, and as you grow, you remember different perspectives, right? So you'll start here, you'll remember all these lower perspectives, and this is what teaches you things like right from wrong, self integrity. I believe in self integrity. um your self discipline, your self motivation. So it's really honestly good if the lower you start. Yeah, so the lower you start, the more that you are able to learn, or the lower circumstances that you have to deal with, the more that you're able to learn and thrive and grow. So that is the good part. If you feel like you're in a really bad place right now, you are in a perfect learning point, right? So right now you're realizing that maybe pretty much everything that you're doing for yourself right now is wrong, right? Um and I think one of the most important pieces to this is if you are truly feeling at your lowest point and you're not like married or like have some type of financial union together, you need to be single. You need to be single. I'm not saying don't date. I'm just saying be single. You know what I'm saying? Until you fully feel like you are not just doing things out of scarcity and desperate energy, I think it's best that you are single and really just doing what you want to do and meeting the expectations that you want to meet, and also making people meet the expectations that you want to meet if they want to be, in your presence and da 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 da. And then this is why we started off the video with, if people are, having disagreeable energy with you coming into embodying yourself, that's a good thing. You're doing the right thing, right? You're getting you're weeding out what you don't need, and you're bringing in what you do. You know what I'm saying? So that is always a good sign when you are facing a ton of rejection at first, right? That's good. you know, you want to leave like the zombies and weirdos alone. And the freak, you don't want to be a part of any freak show or circus. So allow yourself to be rejected gracefully. You know what I'm saying? That is a good thing. That is the good part. Okay? Um and always acknowledging the good in yourself. And this is why some people love to use words like narcissism or whatever, which I believe the definition of that is believing that you're like superior to other people or something. There are worse illnesses than that. I'm just saying. So it's okay if people may feel like you're full of yourself. You need to become full with yourself. What else are you supposed to be filled with? Shit. You know what I mean? You don't want to be full of shit, so be full of yourself. That's okay. And if people are offended by that, again, you're doing the right thing. And also, the less people that you're around outside of business and opportunity, you also know that you're doing the right thing, because everybody is at different places in life. And I believe, from my perspective, there are people in way lower places compared to other people. But when you're comparing yourself to people on your level, everybody has their ways. I like to call it, we like to call it, right? So, staying with yourself allows you, I feel, to assess your weaknesses and points that you need to work on, and definitely embrace your strengths without needing validation of others. You know what I mean? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Um from school. So yeah, acknowledging, even I feel like even being able to acknowledge, weaker points of yourself is good, so that you can grow and you can fix things that you don't like. And I think sometimes people get really stuck in their ways of authenticity, right? And authenticity does not mean that you're going to stay the same, to be honest. The most authentic people are going to change. They may say something in the past that totally shifts, because people must evolve and they must assimilate correctly to life. People, you know, maybe more closed-minded in certain areas in the past, and they will learn to grow. And that is what they're supposed to do. That is true authenticity. True authenticity is not, oh, I'm the same as I was 5 years ago. That's not being authentic. Being authentic is honestly embracing that you're not the same that you was 5 years ago, when you're not supposed to be. Um So, yeah, I don't plan on being up here for too long, even though this is only a quick 9-minute video. But I just really wanted to talk about people seeing the bright side of things, right? like, have you ever, had like maybe a crazy day and you're like, on the bright side, at least the food is good or something? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always good to look on the bright side. Like, you can be having a crazy day and be like, on the bright side, at least I look good. Someone told me to get up and get dressed this morning. It's been a crazy day. You know what I'm saying? That is always a beautiful way to look at life, on the brighter side. You know what I mean? And even when you may go in and go out of higher frequencies, right? I always laugh. It's always laughable after, because it's like, was that necessary? You know what I'm saying? Not everything has to be taken so serious. You know, a life is a really lighthearted experience because it's just like a journey. You know what I mean? And it's different for everybody, and that's just kind of what makes up what it is. But always just being the heaven in every day, you know what I mean? And looking for the heaven and the glimpses of heaven in every day, you know, that is a really beautiful way to put it. But I hope everybody has an amazing Wednesday. Like I said, I did not really plan on being up here for too long. I don't really have much to say, but to stay positive and to spread that positivity throughout your entire energy field, throughout your entire body. I know you thought I was going to say spread that positivity to everybody else, but in order to spread that to everybody else, you need to be spreading that throughout your entire body, so that you're not taking life so serious, so that you can be light and not heavy and let things go. You know, take those showers, and just cleanse all that negativity, cleanse the day away, so that you can, you know, be fulfilled and feel like a new person, and, you know, just always doing things that make you feel good is really important to be here and thrive in this life and be content with yourself, you know. It's just one thing to be here, but it's another thing to truly be able to be content with yourself. So I believe, you know, embodying um all of these things, and, you know, like, eating the right foods can help too, but if you're not truly here, that ain't really gonna help unless you in a, you know, life or situation. But I hope everybody has a beautiful, marvelous, marvelous day. Aw, that reminds me of the old Bambi. Aw. Okay, marvelous, marvelous day, and bye, y'all. It's Ani's world, and remember, the good part is